What would the government actually do during a zombie outbreak? Anthony here for D News, and with World War Z and The Last of Us out, I have had zombies on the brain, which is where they normally go anyway. And while a zombie apocalypse seems highly unlikely, I've been wondering, let's say some sort of parasitic fungus or neurotoxin really did cause one to happen. What would the government actually do? Now, while there aren't any set procedures, a zombie outbreak is a combination of three basic real-world dangers: a pandemic, widespread rioting, and a loss of infrastructure. And these are all things that there are procedures for. So the whole thing starts off as identification of a pandemic, a disease that's just spreading quickly. And that all starts with the Center for Disease Control. A team from the CDC would be sent out to investigate the causes of the outbreak and figure out how to contain and cure it. Depending on how widespread the outbreak is, they have the authority to quarantine individuals or even a whole city, whatever they think is necessary to contain the spread. A quarantine can be as simple as relegating people to their homes or herding everyone into a public place and locking them down. Now, your state or local government can declare a quarantine without the CDC, but their cooperation is required if the military is going to get involved. And in the case of zombies, your mayor is definitely going to want the military involved. Now, you should know that in cases of pandemic, the military and authorities are going to start prioritizing who actually gets help. In a zombie situation, you can bet that if you're bit, you are not getting any attention unless it's to be a lab rat for a cure or to be shot. But some other people are considered deprioritized for medical attention as well. Procedures say that the elderly are considered non-essential, as well as people with severe injuries from car crashes or shootings. People with obvious mental disabilities will not be helped, and anyone who's found to have a chronic disease are going to be pushed aside. Because resources are slim, the plague is spreading fast, only the strong survive, and that is going to cause some unrest between people rioting against quarantines, people trying to survive outside of quarantines, and of course, zombies in the streets. You can bet the president is going to invoke a federal state of emergency and martial law. Martial law is going to put the military in charge of your local government. That's good in the short term because they're organized, they have a lot of resources. It's potentially sticky if the plague ends and they decide that they are not going to give up control. A state of emergency also puts FEMA into action. They're empowered to deal with disasters, provide aid, delegate people into positions of authority. They also activate the Emergency Alert System. Now, the EAS is going to be the last place standing to get communication from the local and national government. You've probably seen their tests on TV. The EAS transmits over broadcast and cable TV, as well as terrestrial and satellite radio. And that satellite link is probably going to be the last way to access it after all the TV and radio towers and power lines go down. So gas up the car, turn on XM, and cruise down the empty highways looking for the last safe human outpost, because if things have gotten that far, it is pretty much over. Sounds pretty grim, but then again, that is why it's called a zombie apocalypse. Where would you rather be when it all goes down? In a quarantine or out in the wild? Let me know down below and subscribe for more D News.